Look at her now, a billionaire, the most powerful woman in music, an untouchable global icon selling out stadiums that are literally causing earthquakes. But let's be real for a second. This empire, it was almost never built. In fact, looking back, it is a miracle she survived at all. Before the applause, there was a graveyard of career-ending catastrophes. I'm talking about a global cancellation so violent that she hid in the trunks of rental cars just to move around London. She didn't just take a break, guys. She believed her life was over. From the media shaming her just for trying to find love, to a $300 million heist that stole her life's work, and the terrifying courtroom trial where she had to fight for her own body. There are exactly 4 moments that were designed to destroy Taylor Swift. But here is the twist you need to understand. These 4 nightmares didn't break her. They actually created her. Welcome to Love and Music HQ. Today, we are digging deep into the wreckage to find out exactly how Taylor turned her worst tragedies into her biggest weapons. Buckle up, it's about to get messy. 1. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. To understand the cracks in the foundation, we have to go back to the early 2010s. This was the era between Red and 1989. Before she was an icon, the media had reduced Taylor Swift to a single humiliating caricature, the boy-crazy man-eater. It got so bad that Abercrombie & Fitch literally sold a t-shirt in their stores that read #MoreBoyfriends-than-TS. Can you imagine a global clothing brand mocking a 22-year-old girl's dating life for profit? She wasn't viewed as a songwriter, she was a national punchline. And then came the 2013 Golden Globes. This moment hurt differently because it came from 2 women she admired, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. They joked on live TV that she needed to stay away from Michael J. Fox's son and take some time to learn about herself.
Taylor Swift, you stay away from Michael J. Fox's son. She needs some me time to learn about herself.
But the absolute low point? The Ellen interview. If you haven't seen this clip, it is painful to watch. Ellen handed Taylor a bell and forced her to ring it every time a picture of a man she dated flashed on the screen. Taylor is practically begging her to stop, her voice cracking, saying it makes her feel awful.
You're supposed to ring
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
Right, I'll ring.
Because they'll send me angry emails
Here.
and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you. All right.
This makes me feel so bad about myself. Every time I come up here, you put like a different dude up there on the screen. And it just makes me really question like what I stand for as a human being.
Here is the tea though. Why did this almost break her? Because it was erasing her talent. Men like Ed Sheeran and Bruno Mars were writing entire albums about their exes and being called geniuses. But when Taylor did it, she was called clingy and calculating. She felt like her intellectual property was being stripped away. The anxiety was suffocating. Insiders say paparazzi were camped outside her New York apartment 24/7. It got so intense that she developed a sense of hypervigilance. She later admitted she felt like she was being hunted. So, what did she do? She nuked her personal life. Taylor Swift, a young woman in her 20s, completely stopped dating. She stayed single for 2.5 years just to starve the media of a narrative. She replaced the boyfriends with a famous girl squad to force the tabloids to talk about something else. And then she pulled the ultimate power move. She wrote blank space. She took that crazy, manipulative, man-eater character the media created, and she played her for laughs. She beat them to the punchline. It worked, for a while. But little did she know, the real storm was just gathering on the horizon. 2. The global assassination and the 2016 cancellation. If the media scrutiny was a slow poison, what happened in 2016 was a public execution. It started with a phone call and a song lyric. Kanye West released Famous, claiming, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous."
Feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that famous.
Taylor's team immediately denied she approved the "that bitch" line, but the world was tired of Taylor playing the victim. They wanted a villain, and on July 17th, 2016, a day that will live in pop culture infamy, Kim Kardashian gave them one. Kim dropped the nuclear bomb, illegally recorded, heavily edited clips of a phone call on Snapchat. To the naked eye, it looked like Taylor had lied. It looked like she did approve the song.
Always, relationships are more important than punchlines, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody would listen to that and be like, oh, that's a real diss. Like, she must be crying about that line.
The backlash was instantaneous and global. We aren't just talking about mean tweets. The hashtag Taylor Swift is over party trended #1 worldwide for days. People were having literal parties celebrating her downfall. A mural was even painted in Australia declaring her dead. Here is a juicy insider detail most people don't know. The hate was so massive that it literally broke Instagram. Millions of users were spamming the snake emoji on her profile every second. It got so bad that Instagram CEO Kevin Systrom had to quietly beta test a brand new keyword filtering tool specifically for Taylor Swift just to stop her account from crashing. She was the first person in history to need an anti-bullying algorithm built just for her. So she ran. For the first time in her life, the good girl was the most hated woman on earth. Taylor later said she felt fully canceled. She moved to a rental house in London and completely vanished. This isn't a rumor. To avoid being seen, she reportedly traveled by hiding in the trunks of rental cars. She stopped doing interviews. She didn't trust anyone. She believed that if she showed her face, the world would attack her. She sat in that isolation for a year, convinced her career was unsalvageable. But you know what they say about karma. It's a relaxing thought. In 2020, the full unedited 25-minute video of that phone call leaked. And guess what? It proved she was telling the truth the entire time. Kanye never told her he was going to call her that bitch. But by then, it didn't matter. Taylor had already taken the bricks they threw at her and built a fortress called reputation. 3. The fight for autonomy and the 2017 sexual assault trial. While the world was busy calling her a snake, Taylor was privately preparing for a battle that would define her womanhood. It actually started years earlier, in 2013, at a meet and greet in Denver. This radio DJ, David Mueller, posed for a photo, and then he reached his hand up her skirt and grabbed her bare ass. Here is the wildest part. Taylor didn't call the police. She didn't go to the press. She just wanted him away from her. Her team quietly contacted his radio station, showed them the photo, and Mueller was fired. That should have been the end of it, right? Wrong. In 2015, in a move of staggering audacity, he sued her. This man demanded $3 million, claiming Taylor ruined his career. Imagine the nerve, groping a woman and then suing her because you got caught. So Taylor countersued, but not for millions. She sued him for exactly $1. The trial happened in August 2017. Remember, she was still in hiding from the Kanye drama. She had to walk into a federal courtroom and face her abuser. And his lawyer? He was brutal. He tried to gaslight her in front of the jury. He asked why her skirt wasn't wrinkled in the front if his hand was under it. He asked why she didn't scream. He tried to make her feel guilty for him losing his job. But Taylor wasn't having it. When the lawyer asked if she felt bad about Mueller being fired, she delivered one of the coldest lines in legal history. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "I am not going to allow you or your client to make me feel in any way that this is my fault." She refused to be polite. She refused to smile. The jury sided with Taylor. She won her single dollar bill, a symbolic middle finger to show that you can't put a price on bodily autonomy. This was the moment she stopped being a people pleaser. She realized that if a billionaire pop star could be victim blamed in court, what chance did normal women have? This trial changed her DNA. It turned her from a passive victim into a fierce advocate. But just as she was finding her voice, the industry was preparing to steal her voice entirely. 4. The $300 million heist and losing her masters. You have to understand, Taylor Swift didn't just sign a contract at 15, she signed away her life. In the music industry, owning masters means you own the original recording. You own the voice, the tears, the heartbreak. For over a decade, Scott Borchetta, the man who discovered her, held the keys to her diary. She looked at him like a father. But in June 2019, while Taylor was literally asleep, Borchetta sold her out. He sold Big Machine Records to Ithaca Holdings for $300 million, and the buyer, Scooter Braun. To Taylor, this wasn't business, it was personal hell. Scooter Braun wasn't just an investor, he was the man who managed Kanye West during the 2016 Famous scandal. He was the guy she accused of orchestrating the online bullying that almost drove her to quit. She called this her worst-case scenario. Now, here is the insider detail that really makes your blood boil. Before he sold it, Borchetta allegedly offered Taylor a deal to get her masters back, but it was a trap. For every new album she turned in, she would earn back one old album. She would have been a hamster on a wheel, trading one hostage for another forever. So she walked away. But Braun and Borchetta didn't just hold the music, they weaponized it. In late 2019, Taylor revealed they were blocking her from performing her own old songs at the AMAs and refusing to let her use them in her Netflix documentary, Miss Americana. They were trying to silence her unless she stopped talking about the sale. But they forgot who they were dealing with. This is a woman who writes bridge lyrics that destroy grown men. Enter Kelly Clarkson, who tweeted the idea that changed music history. You should re-record all the songs. Taylor found a loophole in her contract allowing re-recordings starting in November 2020. She launched Taylor's version. She added vault tracks to make the new albums irresistible. She asked her fans to boycott the old versions, and it worked. Scooter Braun eventually sold the masters to a private equity firm, but by then, Taylor had already devalued the asset. She turned a $300 million loss into a $1 billion legacy. She didn't just buy her house back, she built a brand new mansion next door and burned the old one down. So, looking back at the wreckage, we have to ask, was it worth it? The answer is absolutely, because here is the truth that the haters don't want to admit. These 4 nightmares, they didn't just fail to break her, they are the exact reasons why she is untouchable today. Think about it. The media scrutiny in 2013, it sharpened her pen and taught her how to control the narrative. The 2016 cancellation, it killed her desperate need to be liked by strangers. The assault trial, it gave her a moral compass and a political voice. And the heist of her masters, it forced her to become a ruthless capitalist who now owns her own legacy. Without these 4 near-fatal blows, Taylor Swift would have remained just a highly successful, polite country pop star. But because she survived the fire, she walked out of it as something else entirely. She stopped trying to be the princess and decided to become the king. But now I want to hear from you. Which of these 4 struggles do you think was the most critical for her development? Was it the betrayal of 2016 or the loss of her life's work in 2019? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be responding to your comments. It was your friend, Cherry. Bye.